Hi, I'm Ben. Let me ask you something. If your best friend spoke to you the way you speak to yourself, would you still be friends with them? Think about that for a moment. Imagine someone following you around all day, repeating every thought you have about yourself, every criticism, every disappointment, every mistake, every regret, every time you told yourself you should be further ahead. You're not doing enough. You're not good enough. Look at everyone else. Why can't you get it together? Would you want that person in your life? Probably not. And yet many of us spend years listening to that voice. Not someone else's voice, our own. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to be kind to other people? A friend makes a mistake. You understand. A friend fails. You encourage them. A friend is struggling. You remind them that they're human. But when it's you, the rules change. Suddenly, there is no patience, no understanding, no forgiveness, only criticism. Why is that? Why is compassion so easy for others, but so difficult for yourself? I think many of us learned something dangerous without even realizing it. We learned that being hard on ourselves was a good thing. That criticism creates growth. That pressure creates success. That if we're not constantly pushing ourselves, we'll fall behind. So we became our own coach, our own teacher, our own critic. The problem is that eventually the critic took over, and many people don't even notice it anymore. It's become normal. Maybe you've experienced this. You make a mistake. Immediately, your mind says, "That was stupid." You miss a goal. You're falling behind. Someone else succeeds. What is wrong with me? You don't reach the standard you set for yourself. You're not enough. And the strange thing is that these thoughts happen so quickly we rarely question them. We simply accept them as if they're true. But let me ask you something. Who taught you that speaking to yourself this way would make you stronger? Think about it. If criticism were the secret to growth, the people who criticize themselves the most would be the happiest people in the world. But they're usually not. They're exhausted, anxious, overwhelmed, and constantly feeling like they're falling short. Because criticism doesn't always create growth. Sometimes it creates suffering. I learned this lesson the hard way. For a long time, I thought being hard on myself was helping me. I thought it was keeping me motivated, keeping me disciplined, keeping me moving forward. But eventually I realized something. No matter what I achieved, the voice never changed. It always found a new reason why I wasn't enough, a new reason why I should be doing more, a new reason why I should be further ahead. Have you ever noticed that? The goal changes. The criticism stays. And that's when I realized the problem wasn't my progress. The problem was the standard I was using to measure myself. Many people are trying to win a game with impossible rules. No matter what they accomplish, it never feels like enough. No matter how far they've come, their attention immediately shifts to how much farther they have to go. It's like standing at the top of a mountain and only looking at the next one, never stopping to appreciate how far you've already climbed. Let me ask you another question. How many mistakes from your past are you still carrying? Not physically, mentally. Embarrassing moments, bad decisions, missed opportunities, things you wish you had said differently, things you wish you had done differently. Maybe some of those moments happened years ago, and yet you're still using them as evidence against yourself. Have you ever noticed that? You're carrying evidence that nobody else is even thinking about anymore. Most people have forgotten, but you haven't. You replay the memory, you replay the mistake, you replay the regret again and again, as if punishing yourself long enough will somehow change what happened. But it won't. The past doesn't change because you suffer. It only changes when you learn. And there's a huge difference between learning from a mistake and living inside it. One helps you grow, the other keeps you trapped. Now, I want to be clear about something. Being kind to yourself doesn't mean lowering your standards. It doesn't mean making excuses. It doesn't mean avoiding responsibility. You can be honest with yourself without being cruel to yourself. That's the balance. Because growth doesn't require self-hatred, and improvement doesn't require self-punishment. Imagine talking to yourself the same way you talk to someone you truly care about. Not lying to yourself, not pretending everything is perfect. Just speaking with honesty and compassion. Imagine how much lighter life would feel, how much energy would be freed up, how much less time would be spent fighting yourself. Because that's what many people are doing every day, fighting themselves, and it's exhausting. The truth is, life is already difficult enough. You don't need to become another obstacle standing in your own way. You need to become an ally, someone who supports you when things get hard, someone who reminds you that one mistake doesn't define you, someone who understands that being human means being imperfect, and that person needs to be you. So here's something I'd like you to try. The next time you catch yourself being overly critical, pause and ask yourself one simple question. Would I say this to a friend? If the answer is no, don't say it to yourself either. Before you leave, I'd like you to do something. If you could say one kind thing to yourself right now, what would it be? Write it in the comments. Maybe someone else needs to hear it too. Because sometimes the words you're afraid to give yourself are the very words someone else is waiting to hear. You'd never say it to a friend. Maybe it's time you stop saying it to yourself. If you'd like more conversations like this, I'll be here. And remember, you don't have to figure it all out alone. Until next time, take care. Ben.